Okay, good morning. Today is Monday, March 23rd, 2020. This is Dormer talking about solving equations to the Kettering Middle School 8th grade class. This is a one-step equation, which we will be doing, but we were talking about solving equations in general. I'll start out with one step today, do a two-step, and then where we are supposed to be is actually at linear equation doing substitution to solve for both x and y. So I will go gradually from the beginning to where we're supposed to be today, and your assignment will be on solving linear equations using substitution. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the basic a linear equation that you can have here. So I'm going to do something very simple. So if I had 10 plus x equals 15, basically you could just look at that and answer the question. But I'm going to go through the steps. And one of the things I want you to do is get a piece of paper or a notebook. I think it's better to have a notebook because we're going to be using it to the end of the school year. And basically what you have here, once you write down, is your name on the top of that particular page, okay, in your notebook, math notebook, 8th grade math for Dormer, March 23rd, 2020, Dormer solving equations and one-step equations. Let me put an S here, okay? All right, so you have written that down. You can always pause the video and you write down this one-step equation. So why is it one step? Well, let's take a look at it. It's very simple. So for me to answer this particular question, I could look at it and know what the answer is, but let's go through the steps. So I say negative 10 here because I want to isolate my x, and I will say negative 10 here. Okay, so now plus 10 minus 10 is 0. I don't have to put anything here. So now I have x equals, and I have here 15 minus 10 is equal to 5. Very, very simple. Okay, I could do another one. Well, let me do it this way. Let's say I had something like x over 10, I'm going to use 10, is equal to 20. Okay, another very simple problem. Okay, so what I would do here is multiply this side by 10. Then I'll multiply this side by 10. Okay, and notice I'm going very slow so that you can have an understanding as we progress into things that are just a little bit more challenging, but I know you can do it. So this will cancel out. And you write this down on your paper. So now I am left with x is equal to 20 times 10. So the answer here is 200. Okay, so this is one-step equations, and we have done this before. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and erase that, and you should have that written down. Or if you need to pause, write it down, go ahead and write it down. And now we're going to move into what are called two-step equations. Okay, so let me go ahead and erase that. And it's best I do a selection. Okay, so that's all gone, and we're now moving 2 steps, so I will change that into 2 steps. Back to my pencil, and so now we're writing 2-step equation, and you're going to write that down. Okay, so don't erase what you have written. I have limited space here, so you go below what you wrote down, and now write down this. Okay, so now we're going to look at 2-step equations. Right, so let's go ahead and we're going to use 10. So if I said 10x plus 5 is equal to 20. Again, I could basically just look at this and give the answer, but let's go to the steps so that you can have an understanding of what to do and how to do what to do. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is make sure I isolate my x. So I'll say -5 here and -5 here. Okay. So what I will have here is 0. I don't have to write that down. And I have 10x over here. 10x. Right? And then this will be 15. Now I want to get rid of this 10 over here so I can isolate my x. So divide this by 10. Divide this by 10 here. Divide this by 10 here. Again, you're writing this down. And what you end up with is, okay, cross that out, you end up with x. And 15 over 10. Okay. And I can go ahead and put this into an improper fraction. I know 10 going to 15 one time. And then I'll left up with 5 over 10. And I can even simplify that even more. Okay, I'll end up with 1 over 1 over 2. 5 going to 5 one time, 5 going to 10 two times. Okay, so let's look at another problem which has given some people some difficulties. Let's say I had this, 10 over x minus 5 is equal to 20. Like, oh my goodness, how am I going to do this problem? Well, again, let's take it step by step and let's work through it. So now I have plus 5 here because I want to eliminate and isolate my x. Plus 5 is equal to plus 5 over on this side. What I do on one side, I must do on my other side. Notice I'm going very, very slow so that you can have understanding. And so now I'm left with 10 over x is equal to 25. Okay, but I have an x on the bottom and I must move that x around. Okay, so I was multiply here by x, multiply this side by x. So now I end up with 10 equals 25x. Okay, I have gotten the x to be up in the numerator. Okay, so now I still have a few more things to do. I need to get rid of that 25 so I can isolate my x. So it's 25 over here. Okay, and what I do on one side, I must do on the other side. That's 25 over here. So my x is now equal to 10 over 25. Running out of space here. Okay, and I could reduce this. Can I reduce it by 5? 5 going to 10 2 times. And 5 goes into 25 5 times. So the answer is 2/5. Okay, so that is a two-step equation. Right? And I want you to go ahead and try those. There's many different websites in which you just put in two steps equation worksheet, and then you are able to complete this. Okay, so I'm going to sign off on this, and then the next step we are going to do is two steps equations with x on the both sides. Okay, so this is part 1. So write this down. 1. Okay, see you later.